Well, hey, Coast Vineyard, here we are, the last day of March today, and we're just bringing you a little midday moment. And crazy, eh? Last day of March. So I've just been yesterday reading through the Gospel of John, and John chapter 10 was something that jumped out to me, and there was a few things in there that I know will be helpful for us all as we are in this season lockdown, and just a lot of uncertainty about what's ahead. So the whole chapter is, most of the chapter is talking about Jesus as the good shepherd and with us being his sheep. And there's a few very, very important things that we can take out of this that will be so helpful for us in this time. So, and if you've got a spare moment today, read it and be encouraged by it. But first thing, and probably the punchline thing in this whole chapter, is that the sheep know the shepherd's voice. The sheep listen to his voice. The shepherd goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. And I've got some sheep, three sheep, not a lot, but two of them were hand raised, and they will hear my voice from a distance, and they will call out to me and come running, and they'll let me pat them. They're very friendly, very different than most sheep in New Zealand, and it's because we spent so much time with them when they were little, and they were friends. And so that's just so important, that the sheep know the shepherd's voice because they spend the time with him. And another thing that's really important with this in this chapter is, listen to this. He says he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. Like, for many of you, you're in a time of real uncertainty about what's ahead because of job challenges or business challenges, even health challenges, even just life event challenges. I know that if you're engaged, it's what's ahead. What can we plan? What can't we plan? And perhaps a little bit of concern around those things. But Jesus leads us, and so I want to encourage you, not just encourage you, but say, please do this, is that if you're in a place of fear about what's ahead, then talk to God about it and keep talking to him until he either gives you some clarity and some wisdom and some insight around what's next, or he brings his peace to you in the midst of this time. And he will. I know that he will, as he but you got to hang in there with prayer. Go for, when you walk around the block, be talking to him about it. Even spend a good length of time talking to God about these things. He does speak to us. He does lead us. Here's another thing that it says: the sheep never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. And I would just say to you again, is like, if you haven't spent much time in your walk with God, actually talking with God and getting to know God, he may feel like a little bit of a stranger to you. And this is an opportunity to turn that around, to start getting to know him and talking with him and praying with him and listening for his voice. Fourth thing I wanted to throw out there is it says that the sheep will come in and go out and find pasture. Now, pasture is a picture in the Bible of the place of good things and the place of where you don't have to worry about things. And again, an invitation to come to Jesus and to find that place of peace that follows on from that, and Jesus says, because I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And that's what he's saying, is that those people that come in and go out with God, they find a pasture, they find a full life, which is, I know, what everyone has in their hearts to want for themselves. Fifth thing I wanted to say here is that the Good Shepherd doesn't abandon us when the wolf comes. Unlike a hired hand who just doesn't care for the sheep. And again, we can have confidence in knowing that Jesus, as our good shepherd, he's with us in this. It doesn't feel like a wolf is at the door in so many ways with this crazy situation. Either it's the virus wolf or the financial wolf, or could be any of those things. And the last thing that we can get out of this is it says again, I have other sheep that are not of the sheep pen. I must bring them also. I don't know how it works for you, but there are people out there that in this time that what they need is God. That it's not that they don't need like to be in a plastic suit and keep germs out forever and ever. That's just unrealistic. But what they do need is God, something that is absolutely solid that they can stand on and put their trust in, and know that no matter what happens in life, that everything's going to be okay, because their life is in God, both in this life and the life to come. So there's a few things, hopefully that's encouraging to you. It's so encouraging to me, and I know that for many of you out there, it's a real invitation to step into to knowing the shepherd's voice so much more in this season, and then taking that on into our lives as we go forward from here. God bless you. We'll see you in April.